It's not San Francisco.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good morning, Misericordia. I'm Dan Unemacher.
And I'm not. In fact, I'm Chris Huber. And welcome to Miseri Morning Mayhem.
On this misery morning, let's give a big cougar welcome to Lexie Kwiecien, who has the inside scoop about the Mass Communication and Design Department's media camp this week.
Thanks, Dana. Because students got the information about the camp on the QT, they spent the week camping it. Campers spent the week at Misericordia University learning the basics of media production. Although students are here to learn from the camp, students are doing some of the teaching themselves. One camper spent his time teaching a professor how to juggle, while another camper showcased her special talent doing the worm. Campers and counselors created special moments having fun. The counselors even treated the girls to face masks.
I've been really interested in communications for a while, and I wanted to see what it's like and experience it a little bit before I decided whether or not I wanted to study it in college.
The story really isn't that interesting. So my mom told me about it. We were going through camps, what I was going to do for summer. There are a few colleges that I already decided I wanted to go to camps for. So she had a few other ones, and this one, it was close. It was a 3-day trip. I mean, it wasn't really that long. So I thought it was an easy thing to do, and I searched up. They have Misericordia has a pretty good communications program, so I decided why not, and I came here.
Overall, the camp was a huge success for everyone. There were lots of smiles and new friendships. It's guaranteed that there were a lot of happy campers. Chris and Dana?
Thanks, Lexie. I can see that all of those campers were anything but miserable.
I don't know. In my dorm room days, I was pretty darn miserable myself. And to tell you more about the dorms on campus is Matt Price. Matt.
Thanks, Chris. Well, if you can barely move in your room and have one tiny window, you might just be living in a college dorm room. Now, just take a look at these campers entering their dorm rooms. The rooms were so small, they weren't sure they even wanted to go in. Meeting your roommate can be nerve-wracking, but the constraints of a small dorm room can bring any two people closer together. We've all heard the nightmare stories of having that bad roommate, but these two have built a friendship that will last beyond camp.
And it made things a lot easier, especially being that young. I had no idea what the campus was like. I had no one to be with, so having a friend there and having someone rooming with you made it a lot easier.
Everyone has enjoyed their time at camp, and they plan to keep in touch. I have to agree that the rooms were pretty small, but I also agree that I've made some good friends, like with you, Chris and Dana.
Aw, thanks, Matt.
Hey, Chris, do you have a talent?
Well, that depends. Do you consider fish whispering to be a talent?
No. But that's okay, because there is plenty of talentless people across America. In fact, we're going to meet some next on America Ain't Got Talent with your host, Maria Torres.
Hello, my name is Maria Torres, and welcome to America Ain't Got Talent. 'Cause honey, they don't. With us is a couple of our musicians that did not make it through the first round of America's Got Talent. They're here to tell us about their inspirations and what went wrong at their auditions. Maddie, could you tell us a little bit about your inspirations?
Well, I've been singing for as long as I can remember, practically straight out of the womb. I started off singing a lot of Broadway, but then I turned to my main bands, The Weeknd, Shout Out XL, and I kind of turned into a party monster. My parents think I sound just like him, actually, and I agree with them. Like, I'm going to be just as big as him one day. Like, I'm going to become the next Weeknd.
I see.
Do you want me to perform a little bit?
Of course, give us a little taste.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it. But I love it. I can't feel my face when I'm with you. Stop. But I love it. Stop it. And I know she'll be the death of me. And these
thank you, Maddie. Thank you. That was interesting. Up next, we have a world-renowned country artist, Emery. Could you please give us a little taste of what you do?
I sing about trucks.
You sing about trucks. I hear you have a new single coming out.
Yeah, it's called I Love My Truck.
Could you give us a little taste of what that sounds like?
No, my manager made me come here and won't pay me, so I ain't doing nothing.
Oh, you don't want to perform for us?
No, I ain't doing nothing till I get paid.
Oh, well then, how about you tell us a little bit about your experience on America's Got Talent?
My manager made me go to that too.
What?
And
Well,
didn't pay me, so.
yeah. If you're a world-renowned country artist, what went wrong?
My voice wouldn't sound very good because I just got done with a tour around the world, so my voice is ruined right now.
I see. And you've been touring with him. You're one of his backup dancers? Yep. So what kind of dances do you do whenever he's singing? Could you show us a little bit of it?
Sure.
Wow.
The Weeknd doesn't even need backup dancers. He does it all by himself. He sings, he dances, he's got it all. He's amazing. He's the next Michael Jackson.
I'm
gonna be just like him.
I agree with you completely, Maddie. Thank you.
Well,
Up next, we have a great trio of comedic magicians. We are joined by Sam Dadiego, Lexie Kwiecien, and Matt Price, all here to share their great experiences on America's Got Talent. And the magician is something you can't even fathom. So, hello guys. Matt, could you tell us a little bit about what your role is in this trio?
I'm the comedian, obviously.
So what's life been like after America's Got Talent?
Well, you know what they say, when one door closes, my fridge opens, because I had to decompress after that train wreck.
Ooh, what went wrong?
They just didn't think it was funny, and I'm like...
Well, could you give us a little taste of what kind of jokes you usually tell whenever you do shows?
All right, well, this is actually what I opened the show with.
Okay.
I said, so what does the magician do when he gets angry?
What does he do?
He pulls out his hair.
Oh my
Wow.
God. That's so rude.
See what I mean?
I can guess you're pretty offensive. So let's move on to Sam. I see you have some magic balls with you.
Well, indeed I do.
Could you show us what you do with your balls?
I'm afraid that I can. Actually.
Okay. Oh, you dropped a little something right there. Where'd you learn to juggle?
Well, I have been practicing with a juggling coach, or what I thought was a juggling coach, for about 10 years since I was in
10 years.
kindergarten. And only after the America's Got Talent, which was my first performance 10 years in the making,
Wow.
I found out he was a wrestling coach.
Wow, that is completely shocking. That's completely different from juggling. All right, so Lexie, you're the star of the show. You're the magician.
Yes.
Everyone give her a hand. Could you do a trick for me?
Sure.
I'd love to see your skills. Wow. Oh. Wow.
Stole that from me.
Do you have a card trick that you could? Oh, yes, you do. You're prepared. Wow.
Pick a card, any card.
Ah, I would love to. Let's see. All right. What would you like me to do with it now?
Put it back in.
Okay. Man, I'm really excited to see what she has in store for us.
Is this your card?
No, it's not.
Is this your card?
Can we hurry up
no,
here?
No, it's not.
I'm getting hungry for some
Is this
Chick-fil-A
your card?
upstairs.
No, I'm confused about the trick. Is it to show me every card but my own?
You're so mean, you know that? You're a mean person.
I've never been told that before.
So rude.
I completely apologize. Let's move on before everything gets even more awkward. Up next, we have a parkour artist and a professional dabber with us here today. And they're here to tell us how they make money in their own businesses and how they were inspired to go on America's Got Talent. So, Zach, you're a professional dabber, is that correct? What is the pay like for a professional dabber? Is there any specific educational requirement for that? Oh, okay. Let's move on to Irina. You are a professional hardcore parkour artist, aren't you?
I am.
When did you start doing that?
About an hour ago.
Wow. Oh. Wow, and you must be like a really quick learner.
Oh my gosh, yes, I can do anything. Just tell me what you want to do and I'll do it.
Wow, could you give us a little bit of some parkour?
Sure.
Wow. Wow, that looks particularly tiring.
Yes, I'm exhausted. That might have been my best work.
Oh, I see. Well, an hour in, that's very impressive.
Yes.
This just goes to show to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Now, moving on to people with actual talent, let's please welcome Chris and Dana back to the studio. Have a great day, everyone.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Gosh darn, they ain't talented.
Good morning again, Misericordia.
What's up next, Chris?
Well, campers aren't the only interesting people here on campus. Some of the counselors have shared some pretty exotic facts about themselves.
That's right. Here to tell us more about these crazy counselors, it's Sam Daddiaco.
Thanks, Dana and Chris. From a hysterical talent to a creepy job, counselors here at Media Camp are anything but boring. Here's something you have got to give a listen. Counselor Ayanna Davis loves entertaining her friends with her ability to sing any song with her many hilarious voices. And Counselor Sierra Crane once worked as the groundskeeper for a local cemetery in her hometown of Troy, PA. While working on the job, she was frequently spooked by the movement she saw from the corner.
So a lot of times when I'm mowing, I'll see the things out of the corner of my eye, and I automatically think it's a ghost or something. Because you're in a cemetery, what else are you going to think? You're not going to think it's just an actual human being.
These counselors look forward to camp each year to share their weird things. So, Chris and Dana, what weird things do you guys have to share?
Well, Chris can talk to fish.
Yes.
Anyway, we've talked a lot about talent today, but we haven't even touched on those of the campers themselves.
Now we welcome Irina Vanderbeek to tell us about the True Stars of Media Camp. Irina.
Thanks, guys. Everyone juggles through high school, but one camper can juggle it all. Chris Hubert from Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, showed the basics of his juggling for his fellow campers. It's a skill set that he has had for quite some time. Chris dazzled his fellow campers with his impressive display of hand-eye coordination. Chris wasn't the only camper with a hidden talent. Dana Nunemacher from Montrose, Pennsylvania, stole the show from him with her impeccable dance moves. She can move unlike anyone else at the college with her unique worm dance. She wiggled her way down the hallway of Inslaco Hall. Filled with adrenaline, she didn't realize her legs were covered with scrapes until later that day.
I want to say June of last year was when I actually started mastering how to juggle. Obviously anybody can do 2 at a time, but when I finally was able to keep 3 at a time going for more than about, 5 minutes maybe, it was probably about June.
Oh, when I was in 10th grade, I was at homecoming, and I watched all the other boys do the worm, so I figured I'm in a dress, why not try it? And I've never done it before, and I just dropped, and I did it.
Campers hope to find many new talents and skills throughout this experience. I learned a lot too. Back to you, Dana and Chris.
Wowza, look at that juggler. He was amazing.
Well, would you just look at that worm? I'm sure her legs and her whole body probably really hurt after that.
Now, before we leave, over to Zach Huber with the weather.
It's hot!
Thank you, Zach.
Well, that's it for us. Make sure to tune in next time for
more misery!